What's up, guys? Good afternoon. Welcome to the 330 Sports Show. I'm Justin Coffin. Across from me, BJ Lisco. Today is Wednesday, April 1st, 2026. That is no joke. It has been a while since I've done a show down here live. I've just been, life gets busy. Life comes at you fast. So it's good to be back here down at Youngstown Studio. And an awesome place. I always get a lot of compliments on like how good the recording equipment is and all that stuff down here. But again, with me is BJ. And if, last week, Chuck Norris passed away. And one of the best Chuck Norris jokes that I heard was Chuck Norris, his calendar goes from March 31st to April 2nd because no one fools that guy. And I always thought that was a good one.
Fucking Chuck Norris.
Let me ask you this. Did you watch Walker, Texas Ranger at all?
My dad was way into that as a kid. So like he would have it on and stuff.
Yeah.
And then we'd be like, oh yeah, it was so ridiculous.
It's the same stupid arc every show.
Yeah.
Bad guy finds him, roundhouse kick at the end and seals the deal. But I just remember like on cable TV growing up, whatever cable TV you had, there was probably like a 50-50 chance it was on somewhere. Just like, but
it was on all the time. Yeah.
All the time. So yeah, Chuck Norris, famous for his roundhouse kicks. And there are so many great Chuck Norris jokes out there, but rest in peace to him who passed away last week. But we are going to lead off the show. We're going to talk some Brown stuff. We're going to talk some Cavs stuff. We'll talk some baseball stuff with the automated balls and strike system and some Guardian stuff in here too. But I thought we'd lead off with obviously one of the big news pieces from this week, Tiger Woods. So we have the Masters coming up. You know, Tiger I saw was just in, what are those things called where they're doing like the they're like indoors and they're doing like the simulator stuff.
It's the TGL.
It's
an indoor golf league that they started basically to try to like during the winter and stuff. Rev up interest in golf and stuff. And parts of it are good and parts of it are kind of like, it's hard to get into.
I've just watched like a little bit of it, but it seems like it does have interest. Like it draws enough eyes that it must be worth doing. But like Tiger's been a part of that and obviously was gearing up for the Masters and some, tournaments to get back into it. This is a guy that had 5 or 6 back surgeries, 20 plus knee surgeries, stuff like that. So this guy's obviously been through a hell of a lot, some self-inflicted, but rolls over his SUV this week.
Yeah.
And gets a DUI. And, that there's some great memes of him in the passenger seat of the car and then him on his cell phone by the bushes. You had mentioned the one from the Muni lot wearing the brown shirt. Like that's always a good one. But like, I mean, my question to you, and I'm going to let you cook on this. Why the hell doesn't this guy just have a damn driver?
Yeah, well, you saw did you see his excuse for that, where he said he didn't want to hire a driver because of he's worried about privacy issues or whatever. And it's like, well, dude, like everybody in your inner circle is already telling you yes to everything anyway. Yeah. Obviously, if you're out there doing somebody can't drive, like, you know what I mean? Like,
does that sound like almost like privacy issues, or I don't want you to know what I'm doing at all issues? There's some shady shit going on behind the scenes.
Most likely. I mean, this is a guy that was banging how many Denny's waitresses and like porn stars.
Yep.
And, Tiger, man. Yeah, I don't understand why he didn't get a damn driver, but it's all self-inflicted. Part of it too is that no one in the golf media will ever take him to task, like, or they haven't in the past. We'll put it that way, because he's the golden goose. Like all those people make the tour makes more money. All golfers make more money. Anybody associated with golf or the golf pro golf and golf media is making more money because Tiger Woods, like he was such a needle mover and he doubled and tripled everybody's salaries and everything else too, and the interest in it. So no one will ever say anything bad because they don't want to cut off access to the goal. Like he's the golden goose. So that's part of it. He's been enabled for a very long time. Yeah. Like the last time when he almost lost his leg, I didn't realize this. Like nothing. Like he didn't even get. There wasn't a ticket. I don't even know if he got a ticket or anything for it. Like. So I mean, like you didn't. Like nothing happened to him.
And that was was that in California? The last one. I think this recent one was in Florida.
Yeah, that was 2021, and he was like, he fell asleep behind the wheel, and so yeah, I mean, he's taken painkillers and he's taken sleep aids, and he's been through 7 zillion surgeries, right?
Yeah.
So he gets that stuff prescribed pretty easily, but somebody's got to say, like, you can only be on that stuff for so long before you develop a problem to it.
Yeah,
I mean, I can speak from experience. I was on it I got a car wreck years ago. I was on it for 3 years,
like opioids.
I was Vicodin, Percocet, all that stuff. And I was getting it prescribed. I was like, oh, this is cool. Like, so you get this like illusion, like you think like, oh, this is fine. A doctor's prescribing it to me, whatever. Meanwhile, I mean, back then they would just write that.
Oh yeah, yeah,
they
right.
Wrote that stuff out,
right?
You know what I mean, they wrote it out like candy.
Yeah, like OxyContin too. Yeah. Like that's been a huge thing around the country, just from like people getting so addicted to that.
Yeah, 100%. So yeah, when I got in my car and stuff, they were still pretty much handing that out pretty freely, and toward the end of it, they're like, well, we can't give you this anymore. It's like, oh crap, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
And you feel like garbage when you go off of it and everything else too. You go through withdrawal and all that stuff too, which is what keeps people on it. They get addicted to it. But yeah, just with Tiger, man, it's like, I just don't. It's just somebody's got to say, hey, man, like he needs somebody in his inner circle to hold him to task or whatever. You know what I mean? Whether this is going to work this time or not, I don't know.
And that's the thing. It's like, if you truly care about him and you're not just a yes man in his camp, you'll man up, woman up, whatever it is, and be like, listen, man, you're going to freaking kill yourself.
Yeah.
You're going to hurt somebody else. You're going to do God knows what. And not just your career is going to be over, your life's going to be over. And it's like, that might be worth an occasional no to someone, or like, hey man, can I get you a driver? I know you want your privacy. This guy will sign an NDA.
You're right.
Not say anything. And like, you know,
there's several ways that he could have somebody drive for him.
Yeah.
But I mean, yeah, like he clearly has an addiction problem, and you could tell even on like, he would like during his like recoveries and stuff, sometimes like he would guest appear on like certain shows, or you'd see him in the booth or whatever. And there were a couple of times where it's like, oh, he's clearly high as balls right now. Like he's all pilled up. And it's like, you can tell when he's pilled up.
Like,
he doesn't hide it very well. Now he's obviously become kind of functional in what he does that, because he played the TGL thing, whatever. So he's probably not doing it then, but it's just like he has these lapses where, you know.
And I hate to laugh on it, but it is kind of funny, because he's a literal billionaire that has a drug problem, and like you said, he's functioning. He is a functioning, not alcoholic. He's a functioning drug user that everyone loves. You might not love him so much if you know all the dirtiness behind the scenes, but like, he's a really likable guy. He's one of the greatest athletes we've ever seen in any sport.
Yeah.
And he is like, how many people do you know, that can be referred to by one name? Like Tiger. If you say Tiger, you know who you're talking about. And that's someone that's a golf fan. That's a 90-year-old grandma. They know who Tiger Woods is. A little kid, they knew who Tiger Woods is. It's like he is beyond the world of golf, and he is really screwing up his image. And like you said, he's got to get all the yes people out of his camp. Like, someone's got to step up and say no to this guy.
People will let you too, like, because when he came back and won the Masters, like that's like an all-time great sports moment, right?
Yes.
I mean, it was unbelievable. I literally choked up when he hugged his son and stuff afterwards. Like, that was amazing to see, right? And people like a good redemption story. You can only do it so many times,
right?
Before people are like, all right, like, you know what I mean? Like, you only get that pass, like that. The sort of the goodwill that people will give you to kind of come back and recover from something or whatever, it's great. Yes, you're human, and that makes you human and everything else too. But like, if you keep repeating the same thing, after all, like, all right, we don't want, like, we're good on you now.
Like, man. I'll give an analogy here. It'd be like, as much as I hate Grandpa Joe from Charlie and the Chocolate Factory, if that guy like ended up taking over, if they did a sequel, he ends up giving back to his community, like his daughter. Like, he's like, hey, here's a brand new house. You don't never have to cook another meal of cabbage stew again. Like, okay, that's a good redemption story. But then if he goes and lays in bed again for another 20 years, doesn't help out his community or whatever, and becomes a piece of shit again, we're not redeeming that quality. I already don't know if I'm redeeming Grandpa Joe, but
he's got a lot of redeeming to do. You get like 20 years worth of redeeming to do there. Like, that was a long time you laid that bed.
But your point is a good one. It's like, how many redemption arcs does one person get? And it's like, and and I, hate to say this, but it's like someone that's in an abusive relationship that keeps going back to that person. It's like, oh, they're going to change this time. They're not. It's going to happen again. And it's like, you're going to let it happen. And you just going back is enabling that person to do whatever they want. So
I wish could look up the meme here, whatever. But the best one, I'll post this for the. I'll make a clip out of this and I'll post the thing. The best one I saw was you saw the Tiger Woods John Daly meme where from the British Open however many years ago where they're shaking hands, whatever.
Yeah,
and he's smoking.
Yeah.
Somebody did that, but they took Tiger out of it, and it was just the SUV on his side. It's the best one.
And as much as like we love John Daly and like we know how crazy and eccentric he is, he has 0 DUIs. Tiger Woods now has 2.
Wow, John Daly might have DUIs.
I'm gonna say I think he has 0.
He's been in trouble a few times. Although he got arrested once on public intoxication. Not arrested, he just got detained. I think so there's some mugshots of him all smashed up too. But John Daly, now he's. I'm
gonna write that in pencil, not pen.
But I'm pretty sure, John Daly is the dude boozes a lot and everything. Too, right? He lives life, but you haven't heard any stories about him getting in like crazy trouble in a long time.
Exactly.
Because he's kind of like,
he's kind of grown up. He's responsible, and it's like, hey, you can go get shit faced and have a good time, and also like get home safely without like putting yourself or more importantly other people's lives in danger that you're flipping over your SUV or trying to hit. You're not trying, but the ironic thing is how good of a driver Tiger Woods is on the golf course and how bad he is off the golf course. So it's that's his own meme.
Away. Like how many more times is he gonna get in a wreck? 4 times now. This is that 4 times.
And like in all seriousness though, like get the help you need. What do you think he should do next? Like if you were in his camp, what would you do?
I send him to a rehab that's not just going to placate him. You know what I mean? You have to send him somewhere like legit. And it's not like he can't afford it. It's not like he can't be like he's going to go to somewhere, but he needs to go somewhere where it's like going to be a legit thing to get to help him, get off. Like, why do you keep like? Obviously, he became physically dependent on this stuff through surgeries and all that, whatever, too. But like I said, it's a fine line. You get to a certain point where you're crossing, where you're like, you're taking this stuff too much. Clearly it's affecting your day to day. So it's like, you got to find a really good addiction specialist and a really good pain management, somebody in pain management that's not just going to feed you pills, because obviously you got back problems, like you have all this stuff. So that would be my next step if I was in Tiger Woods camp, assuming he would listen. But
hopefully he's got the right people in his camp, because right now it doesn't seem like it. And like you said, he's got all the money in the world, and he needs to put that in the right direction, or else, he's going to fall off a cliff. Maybe not figuratively, maybe actually literally too. Right. So, and he is, so we're similar ages, but like in your lifetime, if you think so, there is only a handful of athletes. So let's even just do our Mount Rushmore of athletes. Does he make your Mount Rushmore of athletes all time in your lifetime?
Oh yeah.
Like where would you rank him 1 to 4?
Probably 1. I mean, he was probably the most significant. I mean, there's like personal people that I was like famous of, that sort of thing. But if you're talking from a standpoint of just culturally, and their effect on sports as a whole, and just around the globe.
He took Tiger golf to another level.
I mean, Tiger would be number 1, I think. You know what I mean? LeBron would probably be on there too. I have to think about it for a minute as far as other athletes in my lifetime that are like that next, that just super duper, super high elite.
I mean, I think you got to have Tiger. You probably got to have LeBron, probably Jordan. Still, because and then you could argue about that 4th spot. Maybe it's Steph Curry, and if you're a big basketball person, maybe it's Shohei Ohtani. Maybe it's if you're a soccer fan, like one of the great soccer players. It could be.
If we're going sports, Tom Brady's
Tom Brady. Exactly. But most impactful, like you said, transcendent of the sport, it probably is Tiger, being a black golfer that was like 90s, and then look at the surge in popularity of golf from pre-Tiger to post-Tiger to like now, you know, it's like it's just huge. Like
one more thing on Tiger, and then we'll move on. But to me, it always felt like Tiger never. It's sort of like that, like you see, like childhood actors or like people that are like celebrities from when they're very young or whatever, from very young age. And Tiger was really a celebrity from a very young age, and then he was such this superstar in, you know, within the world of golf. You see sometimes when they get older, like they don't. Like the whole thing with his ex-wife and then him cheating on Rain, it was like, oh, he finally figured out. He was like going like he was older than a teenager, but it was like he was going through his teenage years or his early 20s or whatever, where he's out hooking up with all these different women and partying and doing whatever, because he never really had that social life, whatever. I think there's still aspects to him that he's not
fully grown up.
Yeah, he's 50 years old, but he's not had a normal life.
Yeah,
so put it that, you know what I mean? Like
that's a great point.
So I think part of that kind of plays into it too. So it's just, it's going to take some unique counseling and unique people to kind of get him to figure this out about himself, because clearly I don't think he has yet. So
that's an excellent point. I didn't think about it like that, but yeah, that's like a child actor almost, like you said. That's great. All right, well, let's go to one of those other guys we talked about on that list of, you know, Mount Rushmore of athletes since, you know, in our lifetimes, LeBron James. So Cavs play the Lakers last night. This is a whole other situation of like Cavs are kind of positioning themselves, I think, in position for the 4 seed in the East. Not really a big deal. We can talk about that in a little bit. But LeBron last night, and ironically, the Cavs are playing in Los Angeles, play the Lakers. Cavs beat them by 30 earlier in the year. But last night, LeBron, Luka, and the Lakers beat the Cavs, and that set the all-time career win record for LeBron James by a player in NBA history. That includes regular season and postseason. And, you know, LeBron has all these other records, and he's just continually like putting so much space between him and whoever's second that it's going to be hard for anyone to ever pass him. But last night was the second time the Cavs played the Lakers this year. LeBron is in season 23. He is 41 years old. Most likely going to play one more season, in my opinion. I want to get your opinion on that in a minute. But if he plays another season, and, you know, it could be with anybody, really. He's a free agent after the season. So my question is, was that the last time LeBron will play against the Cleveland Cavaliers?
I think he's going to Cleveland.
You think so?
I mean, that makes the most sense to me.
Okay.
I mean, he doesn't have a future really in LA. I don't know that they're going to re-sign him to a 1-year deal.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I mean? Like, it just doesn't make sense for him to stay there. His best chance to win another championship would be to come back to Cleveland. If you stick him on that roster.
Yeah, that's a good point.
I mean, the roster's kind of stacked. You have that sort of veteran leadership there. He doesn't have to be the guy.
Yeah.
He can be a role player with it and stuff too. He won't have to play as many minutes if he doesn't want to. Like, he can be that sort of bit part. But yeah, I mean, I think, you know, people in Cleveland, they bitch about LeBron all the time, but like, they would welcome him back in a heartbeat.
My God,
he comes back. So, yeah, I kind of think it's kind of against Cleveland or nothing. You know what I mean? I don't know. I mean, you think there's any possibility he goes anywhere else?
The only other 2 teams I've heard like thrown around have been the Knicks or Golden State Warriors. And to me, it's like, I don't see him. You know, like, I know him and Steph are close, but it's like, I don't see him going to Golden State. That roster's really old. They don't have a ton of cap flexibility. The Knicks, to me, would feel almost like ring chasing, where it's like, if you go back to Cleveland, win or lose next year, it's like you're finishing out your career in your pseudo hometown where you won a title, and it's like, it's kind of just like icing on the cake. You get to do your LeBron. I don't know LeBron, never met him, but like, I think anyone that has watched LeBron over his career kind of knows he likes the spotlight a little bit. He wants that farewell tour, and I think finishing out in Cleveland would be the best case scenario. You got half your games at home, and then, you know, every city you go to on the last time you play there is going to have some sort of celebration honoring your career, and especially in Miami and LA. And, you know, you get to be on a very good team. Like you said, be a great role player. You don't have to play a ton of minutes. You can sit out when you need to and gear up for one final championship run. And to me, I don't feel like that feels like ring chasing back in Cleveland because, you know, you started your career there. You had a great middle portion of your career there, and then you finish it there. I feel like that's the perfect storybook ending.
Yeah, for sure, storybook ending, and that would be the. Yeah, no, I don't think anybody would think like ring chasing wouldn't necessarily come. Now, that could very well be what he does.
Right, yeah.
But no one's really going to like throw that out. Like no one's going to hold it against him to go back to Cleveland and play for his first team. And, you know, like I said, near his hometown with all the Ohio connections and stuff. That makes the most sense to me, for sure.
And the only thing I've heard on pushback of that is, well, the Cavs are in what's called a second apron team, so they don't have a ton of like cap flexibility. They can probably only offer him the veteran minimum. We just talked about Tiger Woods, who's a billionaire.
Yeah.
LeBron doesn't need the money. Like, so he can play on a vet minimum for a couple $1 million. It's not going to be hurting his bottom line. And still, like we said, do all those other great things and finish out your career in Cleveland.
Yeah.
It's the perfect situation if you want to play another year. And, you know, I guess my question would be, I wonder what happens with his son. And, you know, where do they go from there?
The only way I don't see him going back to Cleveland is if Cleveland somehow gets hot and wins the title this year.
Okay.
If Cleveland were to win the NBA title this year, someone get. I don't think they're going to. I think they're still a little too inconsistent. But if they were to get hot, go on a run, win the NBA title this year, then I think he might consider going elsewhere because then it's not like he wants. He comes back. Oh, I did it and put you over. I took you over the. You know,
I agree.
Pushed it over the edge. So
yeah, and I think if for some reason the Cavs, you know, I'd say they have probably like a 33% chance of getting out of the East. You know, it's like the Pistons, the Celtics, the Knicks, the Cavs. Those are the four teams that are one of those four teams are gonna represent the East. And then you're chasing Oklahoma City, who's the defending champs in the West, and then you got the Spurs, who are this young, great up and coming team. So the Cavs are one of the 6 best teams, I would say, in the NBA, but will they get to the finals? I don't know. If they do, will they even win it? Probably not. So if LeBron gets there, you know, comes for one more year, and then, you know, you're probably plucking certain veterans and placing them. We talked about the Giannis thing in the past. Like maybe that's a trade potential. But like, I feel like if LeBron does come to Cleveland, that roster is going to get really old really fast, but also be incredibly competitive. And maybe you're mortgaging a little bit of your future for one final run at it. So, but if you got a good shot to win it, I'd say go all in.
Yeah,
you know,
he might as well. I mean, we don't get a lot of opportunities for championships in Cleveland.
Yeah,
so
exactly.
Take them when you get them.
Take them when you get them. All right, very good. All right, real quick, I just want to touch on a baseball note before we switch back to basketball in the Final Four. Have you watched any baseball like to start the season? So the automated ball strike system. I'm glad you're here because you're a taller guy. I didn't want to make Joe feel diminutive with his shorted status, but a lot of these guys have gone from like 6'3" to 6 foot, or like 6'1" to 5'11", because they're getting their true height for this automated ball strike system. So there's for anyone that doesn't know, Major League Baseball put in place, and it's what the catchers can call, like if they think it's a strike and it was called a ball, they get 2 challenges per game, or a team, a batter, you can do up to 2 challenges a game, whether they can argue if it's a ball or strike. And that way you're basically taking balls and strikes out. Like the human element is still there, but like you're perfecting it a little bit more. So what are your thoughts on what you've seen so far with this ABS system?
I don't think it's bad. It's weird. Like baseball has become I think all sports are like this. Like they become so, and this is going to be like a grumpy old man talking. Like the way baseball has changed so much in the course of our lifetimes. You know what I mean? Like nobody hits for average anymore. Like it's like the pitch clock. That's a good thing. You know, I think that the balls and strikes thing, like it's like the part of what made baseball so endearing is sort of the human element of the game. So like, I think if they keep it kind of where it is now, if they don't go more than that, then it could be good. But there was another goofy thing they were talking about for like, okay, if you're a Major League Baseball player and you wear the stupid oven mitts, get out of here with that.
You mean the sliding?
Yeah,
the sliding.
Get out of here with that. Like. So that's terrible. There's another safety thing that they're putting in too to avoid collisions on first base, where they're going to stick another
like the little league
another base on
yeah.
They do that. Like, get out of here with that. Like, these are grown men.
Yeah.
Like, you already made baseball so much safer, whatever it is, that you can't block the plate. I mean, back in the 80s, like, just a routine double play, you could guys would get just clipped out from under them. Like, that was normal.
I even think back to way further, like way before our time, when catchers literally didn't wear masks.
Yeah.
How many people freaking died probably like taking a foul ball off their face, and it's like, now we're getting to the point where we don't want someone to like step on someone else's foot. Like, that's getting a little too much.
I mean, with the balls and strikes thing, I think it's good in those instances where, because there have been some egregious calls and stuff here and there. I just worry the game is already so analytical. But if you take it any further, it's just like it's like AI baseball. It's like not like real baseball anymore, and it's already like that. The way everybody plays, the way everybody does stuff. It's weird. It's a foreign. It's kind of a foreign game to me. Even though I still enjoy baseball, but it's hard to swallow sometimes.
I actually, like, part of me, I like the 2 challenge thing that has been put in place with, like, safe or out and stuff like that, fair or foul. But I do kind of like this in a sense of, like, towards the end of the game, especially if you are in a critical situation and then there is an obvious ball and it's called a strike 3, and like that takes you out of a bases loaded situation. It's like that gives like the opportunity for that hitter another chance. You know what I mean? So I can't remember. It was in a Milwaukee game recently where there was some egregiously missed calls. I forget the umpire's name, but he's been called out plenty on social media. But it's like, it still takes the human element into account in the sense of, like, if they keep making too many mistakes, those teams are using their challenges and they don't have those challenges like later in the game. So that's where I see some pushback on it. But it's like, I feel like eventually we're going to go to, there's probably no home plate umpire. And there's going to be like, I don't know if I like that.
No, I don't like that at all.
I the way I would do it is batter or catcher, you get 2, and it's like a continual thing. If they keep missing it, you keep those challenges if you win it. But once you lose the 2, you're out. That's just my opinion, because it is pretty quick. It is pretty quick. I will say that. But you just, would you rather just get rid of it completely?
I mean, I would rather get rid of it completely than go further with it.
Okay,
because it's just,
that's fair.
Because baseball, it's like I said, it's become so analytical and so robotic as the way they play it now that it's it's hard. One last bitch on baseball before we move on. The pitch count is so out of control, and they've been doing this now for years. When you're growing up watching baseball, I mean, so many pitchers, like complete games was a big stat growing up. You don't ever see that anymore because they don't let anybody. And what I don't understand, and I'm sure there's some kind of science behind it. It seems like the less these guys throw, the worse their arms end up being, or the more Tommy John surgeries or whatever they're doing. And so, it's weird. Like, I see all the time. I'll see on tickers wherever where a pitcher's got a no hitter through 6 or 7 innings, and they took him out.
They pull him. Yeah.
Why?
Because they don't want him to go over like 105 pitches or something like that.
And that's like, and I'm sure there's some analytic that says, oh, he throws so much throughout the year,
Then sit him for his next start. Let him go complete that complete game or shut out or
explain Nolan Ryan to me then.
Exactly.
270 some pitch no hitters he had.
I know it.
You know what I mean? Like, dude pitched till he was like 100.
Yeah.
Like,
he might have 9 walks, but he has no hits in that game.
There were dudes back in the day. I remember remember the Necros, Phil Necro.
Oh yeah.
They were like 38.
Yes.
They were like Eddie Harris from Major League. They look like 106. Like, how is this guy?
Yes.
Gray hair.
Exactly.
Those dudes, but they threw Bert Blyleven, played until he's like 50 almost. Like,
I think to your point where baseball has become too analytic, it's like too specialized. Every reliever now can throw like 100 miles an hour or has 1 or 2 pitches that are like absolutely elite. And that's great from a skill perspective, but there are so many strikeouts. It's like strikeouts or home runs. It's like there's not a whole lot of base running. There's not a whole lot of like bunting and like small ball put into play, unless you're a Guardians fan, then you see too much small ball, not enough home runs. But it's, I don't know, it's almost become overly specialized where it's taken a little bit of the like nicheness, the stuff out of the game.
A lot of the personality out of the game.
Yes,
it's taking a ton of personality
exactly
out of the game, and so it's just that's why it is hard. So like I said, I still enjoy baseball, but it's hard to watch sometimes just with how robotic it's gotten.
And we're representing 2 Ohio teams. BJ's a Reds fan. I'm a Guardians fan. So we've both been. You've at least seen one World Series in your lifetime. Yeah. So
I know that popped up on my YouTube feed. Those games, whenever I was watching, actually what was better than because they swept the A's. The series wasn't very exciting. But
a win's a win.
The NLCS against the Pirates was a great series. That to me was like the World Series that year because that was both those teams were stacked. And
Jose Rio, Chris Sabo, Barry Larkin. Yeah, you had some, and like I had the great Cleveland Indians teams of the 1990s, and those teams got so close, but they just never could finish it off. But hopefully one day I will see one, and hopefully one day you will see another one too. So, all right, we'll move on to another championship round. We are now into the Final Four of college basketball. And, I've been following the tournament pretty closely. I know you said you haven't followed it too closely, but you watched that UConn Duke game. And what'd you think of that ending?
I felt bad for the dude from Duke for turning it over because it was like, oh, dude, just take the foul. Like, what I get what he was trying to do because he's like, oh, we'll just kill the entire clock if he gets that pass over. But yeah, you could also ice the game with 2 free throws. So it was just like, oh boy. And then the other thing that I'm not sure, and teams never react. Like you see this happen all the time where it's like, as soon as they turned it over, I'd have fouled the guy right away. Yeah. Like don't let him shoot a 3. Like do not let him like do whatever you have to do. But it's like they're sort of in shock, like, oh, and you see that happen a lot where it's like just foul him. Don't let him have this opportunity to win or whatever. And the
Florida head coach, and I'm forgetting his name off the top of my head, but they won the national title last year. He has a strategy of he would almost rather foul a player on another team with the ball less than 10 seconds up 2 and send him to the free throw line rather than give up the opportunity for a 3. And that actually cost Florida. That's how Iowa beat Florida. They were down 2, end up hitting the 3 to beat them. So like I think were trying to foul and just couldn't get to him in time. But that's a very interesting strategy. But yeah, with the end of that Duke UConn game, first of all, like Duke, you either love Duke basketball or you hate Duke basketball. There's no in between. And I'm a big UConn supporter from a basketball perspective. Love the women's team, love the men's team. And I just think it's cool to see greatness because Hurley is a great coach. Ariema is a great coach, and they've both been doing it for so long and so well at an elite level. But to see UConn come back, I think they were down 16 at the half, came back. A lot of people gave up on that game. And that, I would put that up there, right there with that Duke beating Kentucky in that, in that amazing Elite 8 game way back when.
It was good. I hope that, I think that moment, that win becomes way more special if UConn can finish it out. If they don't finish it out or they just lose here in the Final Four. We have Illinois.
They have Illinois, yeah.
So if they lose to Illinois, then it's like, you know what I mean? Like it's still a great moment, but it loses.
Yeah, it's not like the Villanova 3-point shot at the buzzer to win the national title over North Carolina a few years back. It's like it may be like it'll still be remembered, but won't be in the pantheon of like greatest shots of all time as far as like a championship level team. So we have UConn taking on Illinois, and we have the 2 other 1 seeds. You got Arizona and Michigan. So who do you like in those matchups?
Arizona. I like Arizona and UConn.
That's my same matchup too.
I would like to see UConn win, but I don't know that they're going to beat Arizona. So, I'm rooting for UConn, but I think Arizona's probably going to win it all.
Arizona is like the perfectly constructed college basketball team, in my opinion. They have 3 freshmen that are they have 3 guys that are going to go in the first round of the NBA draft, but they also have 3 really, really good freshmen. And then they got some other like older players around them. So they got the great youth, and then they got the experience around them. And I think I saw Michigan was a 1.5 point favorite in that game. That kind of surprises me, but Michigan's also a very, very good team. I think they're the number one defensive rated team in the country, but Arizona is a team that it's kind of like a little bit of an old school team in the sense of like they get to the rim and they shoot a lot of twos. They're not great at the three, but they score at an elite level. So Michigan, Arizona is going to be a great game. I do like Arizona to win that game. I think UConn and Illinois, I think it's going to be a really good game too. I think that's going to be more low scoring. But I like UConn and Arizona, and I like Arizona to win it. That's what I picked before the tournament, and that's what I'm going with. That's what I'm going with now. So, random Final Four question. Okay. So you have Illinois fighting Illini. You have the UConn Huskies. You have the Arizona Wildcats, and you have the Michigan Wolverines. In a Final Four of mascots in a battle to the death, who wins those matchups? So is it, well, let's go with the old Illinois mascot, Chief Illinois.
What's the Fighting Illini? Like what?
So,
what is that?
So I would take that as the Illini tribe. So back in they got rid of the Indian mascots, Native American mascots in the, I believe, 2007, and now they have some stupid ass mascot that I don't know who it is, but like if you ask any Illinois fan, they want, it's almost like Chief Wahoo with the Cleveland Indians, where it's like, but it's not like the card, it's like the real legit, it's like the Florida State Seminole, it's like they represented that tribe. So let's say that tribe versus the UConn Huskies, and we'll give equal Huskies to chief members or tribe members, and then you got Wolverines and you got Wildcats, and pick whatever Wildcat you want.
It's not the greatest four mascots to be in this discussion, but I would say, if we're going mascot battle, I'll go with the original Fighting Illini. Then that would be my pick. But,
okay,
but the other ones are just like whatever. I mean,
if it was one chief of the Illini tribe, I might give the the option to a very fierce like Wildcat or something. But like if we're talking like a puma or a tiger or something, but a Wildcat, they kind of have that like cartoon image of it, so it doesn't give you the fierceness of that. But I agree with that. So I thought that we just check that out. If you're going best campuses though out of that group, it's Arizona hands down too. It's like you're in Tucson. Like if I could pick which campus I'm going to be in, it's going to be that. All right, so we both are on Arizona to win the Final Four. I think that's probably a good bet. All right, so let's go to the Cleveland Browns. And so we have not talked since the Browns have hired Todd Monken. I guess just your overall thoughts briefly on the hire of Todd Monken and what you think of him and how he'll be as a coach.
If you're going to hire an old defensive guy, why didn't you hire the old defensive guy?
Well, he is an offensive guy.
Oh,
he is an offensive guy.
Well, if you're going to hire an old coordinator, why don't you hire the old coordinator in your building? Because I don't know, like you might know this. Has there ever been a first-time NFL head coach like over the age of 50 that's like really succeeded or done well? Like 50, 55. Todd Monken's almost going to be 60.
Yeah.
Like, has anybody been old and just come in like, oh wow, like this guy's great? Like, what? Like, there's a reason you haven't been a head coach in decades.
That's a good question.
I mean, I hope he does well, but I don't. It just doesn't.
Right.
I would be way more excited about it if they would have went with a younger, hungrier guy. I don't know. It just seems more exciting.
Does it feel like a bridge situation to you? Like
possibly,
like we're putting him in this place. He's going to be kind of a placeholder till we build up our team, our roster. We're going to give him a chance. If he succeeds, that's great. We'll go forward. But to answer your question, I can't think of anyone. Like, when did Marv Levy get his head coaching job? Like Bill Belichick had his chance with the Browns and then became successful later with the Patriots. And it's like Parcells was young, and
nobody was 60 years old when they got hired. And it's like, wow, they're suddenly lighting the world on fire. It's like, or
at least like some older guys when they came into the NFL, they had success like Jimmy Johnson was with Miami, like Barry Switzer was with Oklahoma. I'm sure there's tons of examples that I'm not thinking of, but like, yeah, that's a great question. I'd like if somebody out there has an answer on that. Has anyone been a really successful coach after the age of 50 as their first head coaching hire? That's a great question. So
I don't know.
We'll see if somebody out there has the answer to that.
So yeah, I mean, I hope that he does well, obviously, but I don't know the whole thing, just the way that it was all handled and stuff.
Mm-hmm.
I think that if you were going to fire Stefanski, I think Barry should have gone too.
Yep.
But I don't know. I mean, until I kind of see Monken in action and see, some more press conferences, like when he's in kind of the thick of things, whatever, you know what I mean? Like, then I'll have a better gauge, or like, I'll have a better feeling one way or the other. I kind of don't. It's sort of like, all right, this is this guy. We'll see. But I
will say, I think Cleveland fans will appreciate his candidness and like openness, because Stefanski, it was like he would talk all day without saying anything.
Yeah.
Like Todd Monken, I feel like will tell you exactly what's on his mind. He's not going to give the game plan away, but he will tell you if he's happy, if he's pissed off, or somewhere in between. And I don't think he's going to call people out, but he's going to let it be known in the media and how he feels in that locker room. And I think to a point, players will respect and appreciate that, as long as he's not calling them out in the media. So next point with the Browns, quarterback situation. So Jimmy Haslam said something the other day of like, well, Deshaun Watson was a strikeout, but maybe it turns into a home run. And then Monken said something like, well, Deshaun's been in the building. He's been working hard, and Shador's been in there every day working hard. And so it looks like it's going to be some sort of Deshaun Watson or Shador Sanders competition. Dylan Gabriel's kind of seems like the odd man out, which I think we knew that ahead of time. Or is there like a quarterback X out there? I don't think they're bringing in a savvy veteran at this point. All those guys are pretty much spoken for, but hopefully, is there a rookie they may be taking as a flyer, or are they kind of saying, let's see what happens this year, and we'll have the draft capital to maybe move up next year? Like, what's your thoughts on all that?
Yeah, I think if they're going to draft a quarterback, it's not going to be till next year, because they're going to wait and see what happens this year between Shador and Deshaun. I think that they're going to try to get Deshaun. I think Deshaun's going to have every opportunity to win that starting job, whether you like him or not, whatever. I think he's going to, because it's like, if Monken thinks that he can do it with Deshaun, and he thinks he can. Yeah.
And he's had a mobile quarterbacks.
You can create a system around him, then all right, maybe maybe this just didn't work, because it didn't work with Stefanski. It was a clash of styles there. They tried to bring in Ken Dorsey to alleviate that. That was awful.
That was real bad. You
know what I mean? So like, Deshaun was obviously successful at one point. Now, is it in his head? Is he gone? He might be just beyond the point of or past the point of no return. But yeah, I mean, he's going to get every opportunity.
Okay. Yeah, I really, I'm like, this is one area where I usually feel like I have a lot of opinions, and maybe because it's the Browns, I just don't know what the hell direction they're going in, whether it's going to be Watson, Sanders. It seems like Monken seems to like Sanders, and it seems like Watson, again, like you said, whether you like him or not, he's working hard to try to get back. But when's the last time he played in a meaningful game and had a meaningful impact in a game? Probably that game 2 years ago against the Ravens, that he got hurt.
Game I remember him playing was that game for the Browns, honestly, because all the other ones were mediocre. That one was like, oh, that kind of looks like he did before. That was the only one I remember. But so, yeah, he might be too far gone at this point, but they'll see what they have. It's encouraging that Shador Sanders works as hard as he does.
Yeah.
So hopefully just get some weapons around the guy and see what you have. Like, you have to draft the receiver. The O-line, they've already kind of sort of addressing some stuff there. But yeah, there needs to be some more skill players on that offense.
So, yeah, I mean, that goes right into my next question. So the Browns have the 6th pick, the 24th pick, the 39th pick, and the 70th pick in the draft. So first 3 rounds, you got 4 of the top 70 picks. It sounds like you want them to take a wide receiver early. So what would if you're the Browns, and let's just say pretty much everybody outside of Mendoza is there, who are you taking at 6 and why?
Tate, just because he's the best wide receiver, and you need a wide receiver. Like, I mean, even if he doesn't end up being the like speedy super whatever, like he's good. He's a solid receiver.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like,
he would be the Browns wide receiver 1 right now.
You need anybody. Like there's no, I mean, who's coming back from that receiver is
Jerry Jeudy. He'll be back. But but my counter to like Jerry Jeudy, like kind of everyone, like look what he did 2 years ago. I know he had a shitty year last year, and I know, he has a lot of drops. But like if you put him as your number 2.
If he's not the guy, he's probably going to be better. Like
he would be much better, and he's still fast as hell and can make big plays. But he's got to be more consistent. He can't just have you can't have a 300-yard game against the Broncos one week and then have 5 drops and 17 yards the next week. It's like that's not going to do it at the NFL level. So I'm with you. If Carnell Tate's there at 6, I think you got to take him unless someone absolutely blows you away with some sort of trade where you can get like a pick in the top 15 and a first rounder for next year. Like I would not trade back any further than like 15. And if it's me and I'm like, let's just say there's no trades that come in that you like, I'm taking a wide receiver at 6 and I'm taking an O lineman, probably a tackle at that 24th pick, whether it's, I keep hearing the name Monroe Freeling from Georgia. I've heard the Fano guy from Utah, the left tackle. So give me a wide receiver and give me a tackle with those first 2 picks.
That's what I would do too. And I don't think there's enough home run picks in this draft that you're going to get many trade offers for people wanting to jump up to 6. You know what I mean? I don't know that there's anything there that's like, oh, wow, we got to have, I mean.
So the 2 players, I think if they are still on the board where maybe a team like wants to come up would be either Caleb Downs, the safety out of Ohio State, or Love, the running back from Notre Dame. I don't see anyone jumping up to get a running back, but if someone is absolutely blown away and will give you a first rounder this year and one next year to move up 7, 8, 10 spots, I think you got to do it. That's my opinion. But if Carnell Tate's there, again, like take the guy you want. If the Browns love him and he's there, take him. And it fills your wide receiver need. And hell, take another wide receiver at some point.
Yeah.
In the top 70. If you can get two and get an offensive tackle and then get the best player available. So I like that strategy. One more question about the Browns. Myles Garrett. So he sets the NFL record for all-time sacks in a single season, 23. And he's got this like epic moment where he's on the shoulders of his teammates. He's in the Browns uniform. He's been a lifelong career Brown. I think he's 10 seasons in now with the Browns, but he is going to be a 30-year-old football player. He's on a massive contract. He is still probably the best defensive player in the NFL, if not top 3, for the next probably 2 to 3 years. But my question is, if a team offers you, let's say, a first rounder this year, one next year, or if a team has 2 first rounders this year, for example, the Cowboys, or a team just blows you away with a trade offer that in totals 3 first round draft picks, do you trade them? Why or why not?
If they come at you with 3, I don't think that's going to happen. If they come at you with 3 first rounders, yes. But outside of that, no. Okay. I don't think you're going to get that. I don't think it would go. It would be
sure
if it was something insanely like that you couldn't say no to, then yeah. But otherwise, I think he's going to stay put. I think he's going to end up being a Brown for the rest of his career.
I'm very intrigued.
Or until he's crappy, then they just get
right.
Go somewhere else. What I mean? Yeah.
Like my point, and I'm with you mostly on that. My point is, if you're not getting draft picks right this year that are going to step right in and be as good as that player. I understand that. But what I understand, like if the Browns can somehow go and get 3 first round picks, and then you can take, you're basically planning on using at least 2 of those picks to move up to get the quarterback you want next year. So I think, like, let's face it, Myles Garrett has played in 3 playoff games, has 1 win in his 10 years with the Browns, and he's been one of the best defensive players in the NFL. Joe Thomas also played his whole career with the Browns, had nothing to show for it. Those are 2 of the most premium positions in football, but the most premium position is a quarterback. And to me, at the end of the day, if you don't have that quarterback, you're not doing much or you're not going very far. So
yeah, you're only going to know that after this year, though. Like,
right.
Depending wise, like who's going to come out. Like, is Arch Manning going to be like that? You know, everybody seems to think that's guy. He's going to be the guy.
Yep.
Yeah. I mean, if you love him that much, well, we know if Jimmy Haslam loves him that much, he's going to get him. He's going to figure out a way to.
He will figure out a way.
He'll pay stupid money or do whatever dumb thing he has to do to get him. But yeah, I think Garrett's obviously going to be there this year, and I don't know.
You say obviously. I'm still not sold on that. I think it's like 66% chance he's with the Browns next year, 34% he's not.
No, I don't think so.
Okay.
I don't think so. I think he's there. I think a lot of that's just, I mean, I could be wrong, but I think a lot of that's just blowing smoke. People look, just that's ESPN, that's NFL, or that's all those places just looking for the hot topic.
I get it.
About, like, I get it. Going to get rid of him, whatever. Like, because how many times have you heard about Myles Garrett getting traded now?
Right.
It's like 100.
That's true.
So
that's true.
Just don't. I don't see it. I mean, unless somebody comes with, like you said, with some crazy deal you can't pass up. But, I mean, I get what you're saying about stocking picks for next year's draft. If you think your quarterback's going to be in that draft, but boy, you're taking a big chance there to have all these picks, whatever. Even if that's what you're thinking to do. So, yeah,
we said it last year at this time. Oh, next year's going to be a great quarterback draft with Nussmeier and like Drew Aller and all these other guys. Those guys might be 3rd, 4th, 5th, 6th round picks this year. And it's like there is no guarantee. Next year it looks to be Arch Manning, Dante Moore from Oregon, Julian Sayin from Ohio State, and who's the other one I'm missing? CJ Carr from Notre Dame. Those seem to be the top 4, but it's like maybe at this time next year, maybe those guys go in the top 4, all 4 next year, and then Jeremiah Smith is number 5. But maybe it's a great class, maybe it's not. There's no guarantee.
Right.
And yeah, so I'm just, as the world turns with the Browns, we never know what's going to happen. But yeah, so we'll end on that topic there for today, unless you had any. Oh, you know what? Actually, before we do that, just give me a couple minute, and I know we're still a little over a week out from the Masters, but give me just a little bit of what you're looking forward to in the Masters this year.
I mean, I love the Masters. Like I wish more golf tournaments had the sort of access to the Masters. Like that Masters app is insane. You could watch every single shot from the tournament on it, which is unbelievable. So yeah, looking forward to that. As far as like guys, have you ever been to Augusta National? You have? I have been there. It is, it's funny because like it was raining a bunch when I was there. I was there for one of the practice rounds, and the way that it is set up, that course is bone dry even when it rains, because the way the drainage is set up, where all the water goes is all in the walkways. So you were like trudging. It was a rough practice round to trudge through. Course is beautiful, obviously.
I heard it's really like slopey and hilly.
Extremely hilly. Okay. TV does not do it justice at all. It is way up and down and stuff. Okay. But yeah, it's a gorgeous place, obviously. But for this year, as far as guys that I'm looking, the potential favorites, I mean, Scotty Scheffler hasn't been off to the best start this year. Like he's got some stuff going on. So I don't necessarily think he's like your runaway. I mean, he'll be in the top, whatever. Rory McIlroy will be obviously one of the favorites. I think Justin Rose is going to come back really hard this year because he got so close to winning that last year. Yeah, he did. Second time he almost won it. He already won a tournament earlier this year. He's playing well. Fitzpatrick is playing well. Who is the other guy with there's a couple like random guys that I see really trending in the right direction. Sure. Kind of right before the Masters that have been on leaderboards pretty much consistently throughout this year. Siwoo Kim is one. He's been up there. Oh gosh, who else off the top of my head can I think of that was? But I love the Masters, obviously. Like I bet more on the Masters than I do anything else. We'll have to get some of your betting picks next week before it tees off on Thursday. Yeah, but, we can go through it. Yeah, for sure. With like we'll see what the odds are on who and who might be a kind of a sleeper pick. Okay, because I usually have 3 or 4. I always pick it.
Oh, yeah.
I've hit on. It's nice when you hit one of the long shots.
You had a couple. You gave us, I think, 5 or 6 last year, and 2 of the guys finished in the top 10 or top 5. So yeah, you were on it last year for a few of them.
Generally guys that are playing well coming into it, and then there's guys that just always traditionally play well at Augusta too. So you take that into consideration as well, just depending on kind of where they're at, and then and
this is a dumb question. I should know this, but obviously previous winners get invited, but like most of the live guys get to play in this one depending on their status.
No,
or
only a few. Only guys. I think they finally do have ranking points, but it's skewed because of what it is.
Okay.
But you're only gonna have Brooks Koepka came back. He's on the PGA Tour now, and he returned. You're gonna have Bryson.
Did he have to give back the money? Do you know? How does that work?
Koepka?
Yeah.
I think he had to pay a big old fine coming back. I think you have to that I was a drop in the bucket compared to what they paid.
I'm sure. Yeah. Okay.
So so John Rahm will be there. I think I know John Rahm and DeChambeau for sure. There's this other guy. God, I can picture his face now too. Whatever. There's a few live guys, but it's only a handful.
Okay. All right. Well, we'll have to get your betting picks next week. So, all right, we're gonna close out there. So, it's nice to do a show back here in studio. We'll have to do this more often. But I'm Justin Coffin for BJ Lisco. Everybody have a great day, and we'll see you next week.
Thank you for listening to this show on Youngstown Studio. This is original Youngstown content. Feel free to share our videos and tell your friends about us. Don't forget to subscribe to our YouTube